What's going on, my YouTube subscribers, family and friends, people that choose to stop by, check me out. Of course, trying to keep it more current like I used to, and recording videos and sharing important information. So, keeping you all enlightened. And man, I hate like all this stuff. I understand like so much about newscasts and people that's doing shows, how they constantly got to retake. I start off, some pop on my screen. I'll be like, whoa, what was that? And me start over. Then record and something else start over. So I'm like, man, I always got to start over. But I see what they go through. But anywho, the name of this skit, I want to call, well, not skit, but segment, is the difference between being a man and being a man. Now, for brothers, whether the Hebrew Israelites, along with brothers all over the world that's fellow believers in Christ, because they count too, in addition to those who are the Hebrew heritage. But mainly, I want to elaborate on this and not tackling and targeting men, because believe me, I go to war constantly debating in like different social chats or women one-on-one about the fairness when it comes to men. It's this movie actually called Red Pill. This woman named Cassie something, where she was a feminist and she went in with a feminist mindset or feminist impression of how men are and how they should be treated and when it comes to rights, etc. So when she started to do research and get on the inside, she saw the reality of the exaggeration of a lot of feminists, that things are not as bad as it seems and not as unequal as it seems. There's actually more fairness than ever amongst women, and she realized the damage that feminism is doing to families. And she just basically, in some cases, got emotional because she saw that, hey, feminism has done more damage than it has good when it comes to families. So, and what's happening with marriages, how divorce rates are high because of that, because of the feminist family court. Feminism being an error and very biased, towards men when it comes to equality and fairness in the court system with family court. So it's an attacking the brothers. I just want to put that out there because I'm definitely on the front lines, and I definitely understand the injustices that take place amongst men, because I've actually shared a video in the past. Um, I think it's frustrated black men in Brazil, while I was doing a video response, and I made a lot of valid points there. And I guess before diving into what I want to dive into, which is still in relation to what I want to talk about, is how marriages are. A lot of people are more afraid, especially men, decent men, to get married because it's so high of a risk now. Like having children and getting married is a risk when you financially stable, when you got something going for yourself. And even the black women, and this is within the black community, but in general, Western women, period. So this is not a black issue, this is a Western issue, because the Western hemisphere, the Western culture, it has a lot of feminism indoctrinated in it. So, and because of it, it has caused a lot of resistance and reluctancy to get married amongst men, decent men who got something going for themselves. I mean, look at recently with Tyrese, and not just a celebrity, but it's happening massively on a local level. So the men that can afford to have kids, or that are choosing to get married and are having kids, are the ones who have nothing to give because they have nothing to take. So they not worried about alimony and child support, because they like, hey, I ain't got nothing for her to take anyways. So And then a lot of cases, you have deadbeat men that's not being men, basically being boys living off a woman and staying under her household, under her roof, while she goes out and work, pays bills, bring food and stuff to the table. And he basically sits at the house like a woman, pretty much, playing video games, smoking, some cases, or just not just smoking, but just basically lounging around the house. So it's a lot of instances like that. And these are the guys that are more quicker to get married and have kids because, well, what do they got to lose? They trying to gain, and they trying to gain by getting with this certain woman that does have a lot going for herself versus a man who have a lot going for himself. He trying to be cautious because he know that, hey, if I get, even if he get a woman who is equally on his level, it's still a great risk where she end up getting double of what she have. Like if she already doing well for herself and he end up married and having kids, well, that's an additional income for her. Even if she works, it won't be alimony, but with kids with the child support, that's additional income in it along with her doing well for herself. So either way, it's a great risk. Even if the guy doing right and she the one doing wrong, she the one cheated or infidelity or whatnot, the guy still end up suffering the consequences. So it's just so great of a risk now. And I talk about this with certain people that it's just within the black culture, keeping it home, it's not that men are afraid of their women or don't want to marry or running away. It's just those laws is what make it risky, and those laws is what make it somewhat frightening because it's like, hey man, I worked so hard to, and I'm speaking being an advocate for the good, decent men in general, not just you know brothers in particular, but I'm the whole ethnicity across the board that work hard to get this position, get to this point, get to this lifestyle, and basically to have it destroyed by a woman that's mad because things ain't working out anymore. How unfair is that? That's very unfair. That 2 months of cheating and 18 plus years of child support, in some cases alimony. That is highly unfair and highly immature because, hey, the man only cheated for 2 months. So if you, for 2 months, match up the amount of time he cheated and getting revenge, okay, even though it's still kind of childish to go back and try, I'm going to get my revenge, da da da. Okay, but to destroy this man's life is highly wrong and highly unfair. You destroying women, and I'm not talking about women destroying men's lives over 2 months of cheating because he had an affair. He slept with this woman. It didn't even last long. Normally, people that cheat get caught quick. It don't last long because can't eventually your patterns are going to be detected that something's not right here. The only reason people have leeway in cheating is because, and I'm still not on the original topic I want to talk about, but still, the only reason people have leeway in cheating is because of trust. If I trust this person, no, I'm not going to monitor them and I'm not going to babysit them like they're a child. I'm going to just fall back and trust that they're going to do right by me. But if I start to suspect some things where it's some suspicion going on, then those patterns that they normally do and get cheating and being slick, I'm gonna catch on to that. Wait a minute. Now this is becoming redundant. This kind of repetitive here. What's going on? This will make a man look into what's this about, or a woman, because when they don't trust that person anymore or they suspicious of this person, the trust is starting to fall down. Those veils are starting to fall down, and now you're starting to see them for who they really are and what they're doing. So that's where the difference. And when it comes to cheating, so either or, just point out it don't last long. Person may do it a month or two, but like years of doing it, no, because that's A person that allowed a person to get away with years of them cheating and messing up, doing wrong, that person is a fool. Because it's like, how can you go for so long without noticing this person doing suspicious activity and not detect it unless you was doing some your dirt yourself, you know. So, but just just point that out. But anywho, being a man and I just wanted to elaborate on it first because it's different topics. Oh, men need to step up and men need to be fathers. Well, you have a lot of men that's trying to be fathers, but they dealing with this unfair court system. That's the issue. And he has every sort of proof that he's the better parent and he can provide better. And a lot of cases it's going to one after the other because they trying to get their cut. They don't want to hear about guys being good dads. A lot of the family courts don't want to hear that because that's money they losing. That means that they can no longer perpetuate the stereotype that the mother is automatically the better parent because that's how they're making a profit is off the mother. So if they hearing about a lot of men being good dads and being involved in their children's life, then that's a profit loss. So that's what's making the courts frustrated because it's like more men stepping up to the plate, more men being good dads. And actually, a lot of men have always been good dads and stepping up to the plate. But more than ever, guys are trying to be involved and attached to their kids. Why? Because a lot of the guys don't want to get married and ain't trying to get really too serious with women because of that system and of the high risk that's involved taking them serious. Not just a broken heart, but your life basically destroyed financially for 18 plus years. And some guys literally be homeless and out on the streets and cannot provide, and the woman being heartless because of what he did and how he treated her. That's very childish and immature to me. I mean, we gonna meet cruel, indecent people often, but that don't mean that children have to suffer for it. That don't mean that families have to be destroyed for it. To show you strong is move on, still let the guy see his kids, and life goes on. Hey, he did what he did. He gonna get his payback with the next woman. The next woman gonna take him down through there. You don't have to be the one to play police or bring justice. Especially if a woman is a believer. Remember, God said, "Vengeance is mine." So why you worried about him? I can't let him get away with this. Well, God ain't gonna let him get away with it. So why you feel like you gotta take justice in your own hands? Only thing you doing is hurting yourself for the next guy, cause he end up looking at you, the guy you trying to be involved with or move on with, and he see how you treating this guy. He gonna like, huh? If she doing that with him, she gonna do that with me. Because at one point in time she had feelings for him, now she don't. So that means the same feelings she claims she had for me, if it don't work out, then I'm gonna be going through what he going through if we get that seriously involved where we have a kid together. Something to think about. So just want to put all that on the front end and just let the brothers know that it ain't attacking. So don't think, oh man, we hear enough of this already. Now I know, trust me, I know. Oh man, men don't do this, men don't do that. Like, oh, it's a lot of women that's horrible mothers, horrible wives, and it's women that's causing the destruction of society, not men. Because the so-called deadbeat men and sorry men or convict, future convict and all that, they have mothers. The males that's growing up have mothers. So what are the moms doing? And this ain't attacking women. It's just telling the truth. This is a single parent generation. So if it's a single parent generation, what are the moms doing? The reason you have so much violence within the youth and rebellion. What are the moms doing? So can all these men you meet, these men had mothers. It was a woman that pushed them out, not a male. It's a woman that pushed them out. So what is their mothers? What are their mothers doing? That's the question. Alright. Difference between being a man, being the man, and being a man. Let me finally get to what I want to elaborate on. Alright. Just wanted to, like I said, just make sure that's covered so the brothers can realize, hey, not against you. I'm against foolishness and ignorance, but not against a person just for their ethnicity or their gender. That's highly ignorant and illogical. Being the man is all about a role. Being a man is all about your character. When it comes to being a man, I remember listening to the 50 Cent song, I'm the man, yeah, I'm the man, you know I'm the man. You know, nothing against 50 song, but being the man, and like I said, being a man, like being the man is like you, like I said, you fulfilling this role that's acceptable by society, that's acceptable by the world. So just like being a player, like you got multiple women or you got multiple cars. Oh, okay. Software, it jumped a little bit. I think when I hit my desk, it kind of bumped it or threw it off. But let me not do that. But being a man is the role that's you fit in a role that's approving and acceptance of society. You got the nice car, you dress a certain way, um, you talk a certain way, or if money is involved, you know, if that plays a role. But the world or society is under the impression that you got money because, like I said, it's a role. That's being the man. But being a man is different because being a man is all about being responsible, not playing a role. Being the man is about playing a role. Being a man is about handling your business and being responsible. So if you got kids, your kids well taken care of. They dress nice. They doing well in school. It's a strong bond with you and your kids. They highly respect you and look up to you. You give the word, you know, you give commandments, do and don't, and they listen. That right there is being a man because you being that authority figure, that respectful, loving authority figure, not a dictator, but that authority figure that, hey, I want the best for you. I want to see you do good. I'm doing my part to make sure you have a good life and a good opportunity. Do your part. But I love you though. You spoil, I take care of you, I do my part. So I want to see results. And they bring back results, good grades and doing well. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's being a man. Being in a life, you being that mentor, you being that role model to your children. That's one part of being a man. Two, of course, always planning. A boy always plays, and a man always plans. A boy always talking about, and it's going back to being the man, right? Versus a man. The boy, that's being the man, is always hitting parties, always trying to play all the time, trying to go over here to have fun. He always thinking fun, fun, fun. That's a boy mindset. A man always thinking plan, plan, plan. He always thinking responsibility. Let me handle this. Let me secure this. Let me stabilize this. Always trying to keep things in order instead of keep things fun. So, and don't get me wrong, I'll work no play, make Jack and Jill a dull person, whatever the case. But what secures happiness, peace, and joy is a responsible person. Where when it's cold outside, got heat in the house, got making sure that the furnace works. When it's hot outside, got AC. In these personal vehicles, keeping up routine maintenance, making sure all of them running right and well taken care of. Taking care of himself, of course. You know, try to eat right, try to work out a little bit, try to stay healthy. You know, all that's part of being a man is making sure responsibility is taken care of. So when getting involved with that lady friend or having a wife, have like I said, having kids or having a family, you can truly feel good as a male to know that you not playing a role. You handling yours. You taking care of yours. You like, hey, man, my bills paid, got a certain amount of money in the bank, I'm able to save, I'm able to take care of my kids, I'm taking care of me. If I want to travel, we want to go on a vacation, whatever case, I can afford it. You know, I'm not going broke trying to go out of town. I'm not going broke trying to buy a car and home. Everything is taken care of, is affordable and able to put back as well. So I'm able to balance it across the board versus you got one area covered and you don't have another one. You got several that's not covered. So to have, hey, you got kids, my kids well taken care of. It's abundance there. My bills, they covered. You know, I'm way ahead. It's abundance there. I'm able to put back a little bit. Hey, it's a little bit of abundance there. Myself, good health, everything going good. It's abundance there. Um, Maintenance on vehicles, like I said, groceries, utilities, all that's covered. That's part of being a man. But being the man, hey man, I got this car, I got these clothes, I got this many women but you taking away from yourself as a man because you focusing on a role instead of planning. See, even on in that lifestyle, like you got guys that's the millionaires, billionaires, and stuff like that, like Trump and people that's on that level. They always planning. They always trying to think of projects to invest in. They are investors, always planning, trying to expand, trying to trying to grow and develop. That's their mindset. How can I expand? How can I grow and develop? How can I attain more, accomplish more? You see, like Amazon, you see different companies that's expanding and growing. That was average sized companies, and now all of a sudden they're expanding and growing. The same way when it comes to a man is always planning on how to do better, on how to make better, how to make life easier, how to make life happier. Always planning. Because the first thing in his mind is responsible. Am I taking care of what I need to take care of? Are things taken care of before I even look in the fun area? Let me look in the responsible area first. Let me know I can feel good about relaxing. Or if you want to go somewhere out of town, whatever, let me know I can feel good that when I come home, my house is in order. That I'm not leaving debt to go have fun and coming back to debt. It's all covered. My family, my kids, whatever the case, it's covered. So that's part of being a man. It's handling your responsibility. Being the man, man, I got this many women. I'm popular at this club and that club, and you all about playing a role. So this just wanted to share the difference because folks are he the man. No, I'm a man. I'm handling my business. And I'm not playing a role. It's me doing what I'm supposed to do as a man instead of the man. Because the man is playing a role. So just someone wanted to share on it because you got so many guys so busy trying to focus on being the man instead of a man. And I ain't talking about prayer neither, as far as amen. But yeah, so just something to consider, just something to think about. And like I said, just figure out I shared it. So be encouraged, brothers. The times we in and sisters as well, both ends, even though message aimed towards men. But the times we in is prophetic. Just want to elaborate on it a bit and just know that everything that's happening is meant to happen. So it's nothing to be afraid of or dread or what. The only thing to dread is if you're not living right. That's something to dread because yeah, you're gonna have to answer for that, right? You're gonna have to be accounted for. Even though you got people that's non-believers and all that, but no matter how much they non-believe, they see all this stuff happening that's biblical. So you can pretend and ignore all you want, but you see it's still happening. So, but yeah, but other than that, Just want to share that and leave it at that. Not no, just making sure I ain't forgetting that. But leaving it at that. So I'm gonna officially close. As always, peace be unto you all in Christ for life.